It was a warm, golden afternoon in Miami. The city buzzed like always. Beaches full, streets alive, and money flowing. Shaq had flown in that morning. No press, no limo, just a black SUV and a driver who knew to keep quiet. The restaurant, Palm Court Reserve, was one of his personal investments. High-end, elegant, a place where celebrities dined next to CEOs and where service was supposed to be world-class. Shaq had done this dozens of times before, enter his businesses in disguise. He believed that you see the real company when people don't know they're being watched. He called it Secret Shaq mode. Today, he chose to wear a plain gray hoodie, dark sweats, a baseball cap pulled low, and some worn-out sneakers. He parked across the street and walked in casually. No one recognized him. No cameras flashed. No, "Oh my God, it's Shaq" reactions. Just one or two sideways glances from patrons and a long stare from the host, who finally gestured toward the corner booth. But as Shaq reached the table, something odd happened. A young waiter, early 20s, well-groomed with an expensive haircut, looked up from polishing glasses and snorted. Shaq sat down quietly, picked up the menu, and that's when it started. The waiter approached, holding a notepad, fake smile plastered across his face. But there was no warmth in his eyes, just judgment. "You sure you're in the right place?" he said. Shaq looked up calmly. "Why wouldn't I be?" The waiter chuckled, leaned on the table slightly and said, "No offense, man, just most people who come here don't dress like that." Shaq gave a slow nod, understanding more than the young man realized. "Well, I was hoping to try your steak," Shaq said, voice steady. The waiter smirked. "Just letting you know, the cheapest thing on the menu is $60. Water's not free either. Maybe check out the food truck outside? It's good, I swear." Nearby, a couple overheard and stifled laughter. A man in a suit leaned toward his date, whispering something while eyeing Shaq. But Shaq didn't flinch. He just said, "Steak, medium rare, and lemon water." The waiter rolled his eyes, scribbled on the pad, and walked away. What he didn't know was that the man he had just insulted could buy the entire building 3 times over. Shaq sat back and observed. The service was slow. People who came in after him got their drinks before he even got his water. Other tables had bread baskets. Shaq had none. When he waved to get the waiter's attention, the young man pretended not to see him. Instead, he chatted with coworkers at the service bar, laughing loudly and even pointing toward Shaq's table at one point. Shaq noted every detail. This wasn't about bruised ego. This was about principle. He had worked hard to make this restaurant a place of excellence, where everyone, rich or poor, black or white, old or young, felt welcome. But clearly that message hadn't reached everyone. When the food finally arrived, it was dropped off without a word. "No, enjoy your meal." "No, do you need anything else?" Not even a napkin refill. Shaq began eating slowly, in silence. And then, like a perfectly timed movie moment, the general manager walked into the dining room. Carlos, the manager, spotted Shaq instantly. He froze mid-step, eyes wide. "Shaq?" he whispered. Shaq raised a hand casually. "Carlos, good to see you." Carlos practically ran over. "Oh my God. You didn't tell us you were coming." Shaq smiled, voice even. "Didn't want to cause a scene." That's when the waiter returned, with the bill already printed. "Gonna need you to pay now. Lunch rush, you know." Carlos snatched the bill before Shaq could touch it. "Are you out of your mind? Do you know who this is?" The waiter looked confused. "Some basketball guy?" Carlos took a deep breath. "This man owns this restaurant." The waiter's jaw dropped. "Wait, what?"
No, seriously?
Shaq stood slowly, towering over both men, yet still calm. "Let's take this to the office." The entire dining room watched silently. Not a fork moved. Inside the manager's office, Shaq sat down across from the waiter and Carlos. He didn't yell. He didn't curse. He just talked. "You judged me the second I walked in, based on how I looked, based on your assumptions." The waiter was red-faced, eyes down. "You disrespected me. You mocked me in front of others. You gave me poor service on purpose. And you did it without ever stopping to think I might be someone worth respecting, regardless of money. The waiter stammered, I just thought. Shaq raised a hand. That's the problem. You thought wrong. And you treated me worse than you'd treat someone at a gas station counter. Carlos looked furious. Shaq, I'll fire him right now. He's done. Shaq shook his head. No, that's too easy. I don't want him fired. I want him retrained, top to bottom. Put him through the full hospitality training. I want him to learn why this place matters, and what it means to respect every guest. The waiter looked up, stunned. You're giving me another chance? Shaq stood up, all 7'1" of him casting a shadow across the room. Everyone makes mistakes. What you do after them, that's what counts. Blue Square, conclusion. A changed man. A stronger restaurant. Weeks passed. The young waiter completed the full training program. He worked under Carlos directly, learned etiquette, emotional intelligence, customer psychology, even restaurant history. And he changed. No more snark. No more judging. He smiled genuinely, treated every guest like they were family. And one day, Shaq returned. This time in full public glory, with fans cheering, cameras flashing. That same waiter greeted him at the door. Welcome back, Mr. O'Neill. Your usual corner table is ready. Shaq smiled and gave him a nod, because sometimes the people who mess up the most become the ones who carry your vision forward.